Hey guys, so today we're doing a Jeep Master enslaved cylinder for a clutch. It came out yesterday and mine was completely empty. Here we are. So I put more fluid in it and it was a squishy pedal. So I'm going to show you how to fix it. So sorry there, kind of got cut off. So I put fluid in it and it's still really squishy and I crawled underneath and it's leaking. I'll show you that later, but I got a new one. So to replace it, you gotta come in here, this on a 97 and up, and you have these two bolts up here. One has a socket on it already, and it's 14 mil, and you gotta take those out. And then this arm, that silver piece right there, you gotta pry that off, and that's everything you need to do at the top. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull that off, and crawl underneath and show you what's going on there. So here we are underneath the Jeep. As you can see, it's been busy leaking. So all you have to do down here is these two bolts. How can I do this? Those two bolts right there, and you take those off, and you should be able to pull this unit out. I'm going to pull it out all as one unit out the engine bay there. And once you do that, it's really simple actually. You just have to get the new one, slide it down from the top here, well, I'd leave it out actually, just the way to bleed it, and you bolt it in the top and you fill it with fluid, and you'll take the little rod, there's going to be a little rod at the end here, and you want to leave the cap off the master cylinder and make sure it has fluid, and just slowly, in short strokes, move the rod in and out, and that will push bubbles out of the top of the master. You just want to make sure that it still has fluid in there and keep it topped up. And once that's done, you can put this, you can bolt it in, and it just slides right in. You bolt it in, go up top, connect your linkage, and more or less that's it. It's really straightforward, really easy. Couldn't find any videos on how to do it, so I thought I would make a quick one, but it's very straightforward here. Alright, so as you can see, I disconnected this linkage here. All I had to do was pry it off with a screwdriver. It's just a little ball here. Oh, where are we? Right up there, just a little ball. That pops right off, and I loosen these nuts off. Just comes right off. The only other thing you have to do is disconnect this harness. I'm having a hard time doing this, hold on. Where are we? There we go. Disconnect this harness. And once you have that off, there's really not a lot of room down here. Finish pulling off this nut. And the whole thing now is loose. And you gotta pull it off from the engine bay now. One sec. So here we are in the engine bay. All you have to do is wiggle this out. And you gotta have a bit of wiring here, but gotta be really careful not to bend this line at all, snap it, break off any fittings or anything. It wraps all the way around and down there. That's it. Alright, everything's hot, but that's it right there. And we gotta try and thread everything out either through the top or the bottom. I think I'm gonna pull it out the top. So we're gonna crawl down there and pull out the slave cylinder right now. I thought I'd show you how to bleed it as well. So I have it buttoned up at the top, and I have the cap off the master reservoir, and I just have it hanging down here. And let's see if I can do this one hand. You want to push it in with a short stroke, let it push itself out. Do a bunch of short ones, and if you have a helper up there, they'll tell you if there's bubbles coming out, and to not push so far that you push all the fluid out and things like that, and just make sure it doesn't get low on fluid, and it should get nice and stiff. And once it does that, then you should be able to throw it in there. Oh jeez. And it should be able to, let's see if I can show this. So this has to go in there, and this little knob has to sit in that groove. And once you have that set up, you just push this in. It's gonna be tight. Line up the holes and bolt it in. Alright, one second, we'll button it up. Alright, so we're at the top again, and I found it best to thread it down here behind all these lines. It's to disconnect this hard line from the firewall here, so I'll put that back. It tucks in nice under here. As you can see, I tighten everything up. And when you have it all, when you're bleeding it, oh yeah, so I'm pretty full of fluid, but when you're bleeding it, you want to make sure that your fluid is near the top of the reservoir. I'm too full, so I have to get a rag here and drain some. Make sure you use .3 fluid for this. It's going to be the same as brake fluid. Grab a new container, but you want to make sure it's nice and full, probably around, usually has a full mark, but 3/4 up to nearly the first ridge here usually. And then you put the diaphragm in, make sure it's sitting flush, and tighten up your cap. Go inside, and immediately, let's see if I can do this. Immediately my clutch feels a ton better. Alright guys, so hopefully this helps. I have to go to work now. This wasn't even planned, this kind of just happened. So thanks for watching, hope it helps, and like, subscribe, do whatever. Thank you.